What's up, guys and gals? Welcome to my channel. I'm saying a vlog. I'm talking about what's happened in my life recently. It's not for everyone, but I save data by uploading on the lowest video quality, and this is really more for like historical purposes. Yeah, um, there's been times when like any random journal, right? Somebody's journal who knew somebody said something about him. So I try to leave this just for like the usefulness of human history. It's not really for like, oh, everybody needs to know this now. Although if you want to listen, go right ahead. So, yeah. Oh, I'm at a great spot. This is the first time I've ever been here, and it is awesome. I'm really glad I found it. Really glad I moved to take it. This is pretty cool. Makes me happy. So anyway, months ago, I was having a weird electrical issue, and I managed to fix it by fixing my ground. Well, apparently, I developed a fault code when that happened, which this fault code can come from wiring. And so I was like, all right, I got to get my vehicle registration done. I thought my my emissions test was still good, and I found out it wasn't. I still have to get an emissions test. So instead of getting my thing done in January to beat my emissions test timer, my emissions test expires at the end of February. So instead of, I was like, well, I can just sneak another registration in there. No, I got to get an emissions test, unfortunately. So, yeah. Yeah, you gotta have a four-wheel drive to be on these roads now. It is slick. You can always tell how slick it is based on if you can walk around. If you try to walk around and you slide at all, that's stay home. You know what I mean? But that can improve in the matter of hours, right? So yeah, so I was like, I gotta get an emissions test. I was like, I'll run the OBD2 to see what I'm gonna be coming up against. And then I had a freaking exhaust line thing problem, and I was like, oh no. And I was like looking at the solutions for it, and they all sucked. The shit was not easy. I would much rather have a hood that's really long than have a hood that's like, well, we compressed everything really tight. I hate that. I should be able to get my hands around anything in there. And the idea that like I have to take off a bunch of pieces to access it is just like, oh man, what a nightmare. Just move to electrical, man. Elon Musk is not an electrical solution. Elon Musk is a fraud and a moron. Yeah, I'm totally comfortable being the only one who thinks Elon Musk is a fraud because it's like, it's just going to prove true over time. It's just easy to tell. But yeah, Elon Musk is a breeding strategy, right? He puts out bots and he buys social media time so he can make more babies. He's not actually super gifted or even that intelligent. So yeah, people, well, where's your billionaire companies? Listen, you don't even want to know what I've said no to in my lifetime. God money is printed at your debt and taxed. God money is about circumcision. You think that pyramid is on the dollar by accident? No, you don't want God money. You're rich means you're a fraud. It does. So it means you're one of their sycophants. It's nothing good. So yeah, unfortunately people always try to go like, oh yeah, there's a conspiracy. It's Satan and the fallen angels against God. And I'm like, God is the fucking government lying. Satan isn't real. Yeah, nobody says it the way I say it. I say it the way I say it, though. Yeah, anyway, I slept pretty good. It rained a lot. I'm looking at like a Misty Valley clear up finally. Yeah, it was like no visibility and very wet. And now it's pretty decent visibility and mid wet. We should be having like another day of rain, and then we'll have a bunch of time to dry up, which will be nice. That'll be really nice. Yeah, it doesn't take too long after it rains. After it rains, like you're pretty much ready to start driving again after like 6 hours. It's not too bad. Yeah, definitely as it's raining or right after it rained. Yeah, it's gonna be like really muddy and you slide around a lot. But shortly after that, it's gonna dry up. But anyway, my error code. So I was like, no, I got an exhaust error code. That makes passing the emissions test impossible. I'm glad I'm getting my registration done 3 months ahead of time. But I took my OBD scanner and I found the clear codes button and I cleared the code and it worked. It's like such a meme. It's like you're not a mechanic if you just clear the code to fix the problem. But it made sense because I had an issue with the ground and it was the same code I used to have. Yeah, all the codes got fixed by fixing the ground. And that code is known as a permanent code. As soon as you have a problem with it, it doesn't automatically clear. So, yeah, some of those codes are like that. Some of those codes will like turn off when it recycles, and other codes will just stay on once they've been triggered until you manually turn it off. But yeah, I turned it off and I ran it a bunch of times and stayed gone. Code is gone. So yeah, since my emissions test is expired, I'm going to not register it in January like I wanted. I'm going to wait until about March. So I have a couple months now to get it registered. Yeah, I'll wait. I'll wait until it expires pretty much to get it registered. But that's the story. Yeah, I was going to try to do the registration now. Send it to a post office. What I gotta do is I've got to find a really good like camping area near Phoenix or something. I haven't found anything yet. A lot of people like Quartzsite. I will not go to Quartzsite's gross. It's like streets filled with RVs. It really sucks. It's like popular for the snowbirds, but someone like me who needs like nature, right? I'll happily drive, a half hour up a trail to get some privacy than be like neighbor to neighbor with people, which I don't like. So, yeah, I love some privacy. Love me some privacy. But yeah. Yep, that was the story. I had a freaking error code that would fail me in my exhaust test, and I fixed it by clearing the code. And usually that's not right, but it's like because the code was called by a faulty ground, which is electrical, and the electrical's fixed, you can assume that the reason for the error has been fixed, and it was. So yeah, I ran it a bunch of times, no code. Of course, I'm going to test it one more time. I'll go for like a long drive, get it up to speed, and test it when I get there. And if the code is there, gone there too, which I think it would be, I got it to operating temperature. It should be gone. Then it means I'm all clear. Whew. Easy registration. Yeah, I might look into getting it registered in like South Dakota next year because they got the Nomad plates. Yeah, South Dakota is pretty nice. If you visit a campsite and you've got a campsite stud from South Dakota, you can get a Nomad plate, which is like you're not a resident, but you're like a nomad incorporated in South Dakota. It's just kind of cool. Yeah, thinking about that. A little too cold. South Dakota for me is within the bears could wander there. Yeah, South Dakota is in the range of like, we don't think there are grizzly bears, but one could definitely wander in on accident. So, yeah, that's why I like don't go there. I don't want to camp in the middle of the night with grizzly bears. Maybe if I had like an automatic weapon, I would. Yeah, people are like, all you need is just, some gun or rifle. I was like, no, you're talking about if you're going to shoot a bear, let me tell you what, you're probably going to be shooting him in close quarters. That means you need something with a lot of rounds that can shoot and shoot. And so you don't want to have to like aim the long end of a rifle at him. You're gonna die. You don't want to have like a pull the trigger pistol. That's no good. You're going to want something that you can just like spray and keep spraying. Yeah, that's how you would survive a grizzly bear. But yeah, I've picked up my rifle all of a sudden to use it and got like shocked the safety's on. I'm like, a round wasn't chambered. Why would the safety be on? But here we go. Gotta turn the safety off. That 1 second could be life and death, So yeah, if you're gonna have a gun and use it well, you gotta practice with that thing all the time. You gotta have like a mental picture of its state. You can't be like unsure about how many bullets it has, if a round is chambered, is it on safety or not. You gotta know it's zeroed. You gotta know it's everything about it. So if you're to survive with a gun, yeah. The way I survive grizzly bears is I just don't go into their territory. Anywhere a grizzly bear could be, I'm not going to camp there. I don't need to, Or if I did, I would like choose something close to the road where it's like a lot more unlikely. I wouldn't wouldn't drive an hour up a trail. Yeah, that would be a bad idea. So, but yeah, anyway, that's the vlog for today. Rained like a lot last night. Oh yeah, this area I was planning on like shining my laser, and someone had set up this light show in the area where they had all these like spotlights going around. That was kind of cool. I got to add my blue laser to it, but yeah, I didn't stay up. Like it was like I went to bed at 2300. New Year's Day is such a random fucking day. I don't understand why they do it that way. You should have the new year on the shortest day of the year and the full year on the longest day of the year, right? Maybe you call it, full moon and full, or new moon and full moon. Maybe you could call it new sun and full sun, right? So, or new year, I guess, is okay. But yeah, new year and full year is you you do it when the shortest day is, and then you do it and then you say the middle of the year, the peak of the year, the noon of year is when the tallest, highest day is, yeah. And that you're not like, yeah, it's just some bull crap. It's just some bull crap. So, yeah. Pretty good times. Yeah, I like making like affirmation tracks and listening to them. Oh, the AI voices are good. They're hot. There's a few good hot females that sound real. That's like, I like pretend it's like a girl I know and she's talking to me, and it's about subliminals, right? It's about encoding your subconscious mind with like things that you want. So that's what I do. But yeah, I was super glad. I was like looking up how to fix this error code, and I was like, this is impossible. And then it was like, not that it was impossible, it just sucked. I was like, nothing else is broken like that. Why would that need to happen? Everything else is working good. But I just cleared the code and the problem went away. Yeah. I cleared the code. I could run it a bunch more. And honestly, this is me being shisty. If the code comes back after a long enough time, I'm just going to clear the code before I get the emissions done and then figure it out later. Like, whatever the fuck. I think the code's gone. I think the code happened when when I had a faulty ground because it was causing everything else to error. So I just think that, yeah, the error came up when the ground was skitzing out, because there was all these other errors like solenoids and stuff like that, but all that shit fixed itself when the ground was fixed, except this didn't. Air exhaust or circulation. They did say the problem could be caused by faulty wires, so yeah, the faulty ground would definitely be one of those. So yeah, I hope it's fixed. I hope I can just get an easy registration. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I was gonna do it in January so I could talk about lazy, registering my car 2 months early just so I don't have to get the emissions test done. I was going to do that. I was going to get it done in January instead of March just so I could skip the emissions. But I guess I don't need to even start doing this until March. Yeah. But anyway, magnets are cool. Magnets are fucking stellar. The proof that electricity and energy is all powerful. Yeah. That stuff is cool. But yeah, that's the vlog. It's been pretty quiet. I'm probably going to take another nap again. Because it was raining a lot last night. It's kind of, it's kind of loud when you're in your car. So, yeah, I can stay up here for days and days. Got a massive fire built. Absolutely ready. Somehow I got in on artist TikTok where they're always asking me about art stuff. I've been drawing for years and they just now got me on artist TikTok. It's really sad because I can like show screenshots of my art and still, I don't pay them. If I paid them, it'd be different, right? There's this assumption in the art community that good art gets seen a lot and liked a lot and bad art gets like flushed and doesn't do so good, but that's not true at all. Art that has payment behind it is more likely to be seen, but there's a lot of great artists that have no reception whatsoever because those bot numbers aren't there. A lot of people are really sad, it's like they only like things that seem popular, which allows people to fool them, and it's really kind of sad. Yeah, there was this library. They had to move this library, so the whole town lined up to move the books one by one, and I was like, a data transfer could have done that in fractions of a second and saved a ton of time. Yeah, I'm for getting rid of books. I had libraries. I've had trunks of books. I've loved books. I got a paper cut a couple times as a kid, but only a couple times. Like the Berenstain Bears gave me a fucking paper cut. Berenstain Bears. I guess that's a good warning. Bears are not friends. But yeah, I remember grade school vaguely. Remember the smells. I don't remember any of the people. I never got yearbooks at all. I never ever got yearbooks. It's like, it's just, I found the situation frustrating. I was like, I can pass the test, but I won't get a good grade unless I do all the assignments and all the homework. And it's just there to break you. It's just there to break you. It's not about making sure you know something. It's about making sure you do the assignments they give you. I said, do it like this. Do it exactly like I say. It's really like a tyrant, right? And they just accept it. They accept it because otherwise you'd be stupid, right? So I knew early it was no good. And like getting A's, you really do have to work pretty hard for them to get straight A's. Yeah. You have to do all the assignments immediately and thoroughly, which I just found so hard. Hey, I'll just put the assignment aside and do what I want. And then by the time it's late, it's like, oh, I have no time to do the assignment. I'll do it on the bus. Didn't do it on the bus. Yeah. So, oh well. Yeah, if you study the lives of animals, there's plenty of existences that aren't really worth having. So it's like, if your human life isn't so good, here's kind of my thoughts, right? It's like, if there's reincarnation, then I can try again. If there's no reincarnation, then I'm going to die. And it doesn't really matter, right? It's like, whether I suffer or not, one day it'll be erased. And that's honestly like kind of like a relief. Right? It's like a get out of jail free card. So if I do reincarnate, hopefully my actions and my alignment gives me a nice body. I'll take an eternal pleasure body. Yeah, I'll take an eternal pleasure body. And then if I don't reincarnate, then I'll just die. It's okay. It's like God made Game of Thrones, he's like, everybody dies. You're just a bunch of screams in the abyss. So, yeah, it's funny that planets are separated by such monumental space and non-vibratory darkness, because it really lets like a bunch of unique stories play out. I'm super interested on the histories of aliens. Are we going to find a lot of similarities? Surely a box is a box. My dad said it good when I was a kid. I was asking him some philosophy, and I kind of answered wrong, right? It's like, he goes, when's a circle a circle? And I said, well, it just depends on when you think it's a circle, which I guess is right in a way. But what I get now is that when's a circle is the point that a circle is a circle everywhere. That, it's like, would other planets develop pizza? Oh, yeah. Other planets would develop pizza. Hey, make a circle held down by gravity and then put everything on top of it and then make it hot. I'm sure many other planets have developed pizza. Or maybe not, right? Is life all water and fire? Or are there other styles of happening, right? Like how fire is kind of a unique chemical reaction for us. There may be other elements imposed that have other really unique reactions, right? Something as profound as fire, but different, like crystal glow. Who knows? Maybe like, I can't even imagine it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting with aliens. Like, are they very? I mean, houses shaped like boxes has to be pretty common, right? 4 flat walls, that has to be universal, right? So I find that pretty interesting. Are there other realms of existence where the laws of warp and woof are morphed, and there can be a non-normal shape is normal? Something that we'd consider an irregular shape is just their perfect way to do it. I'd imagine it's all boxes everywhere. I'd imagine that the mountains we take for granted as like Earth mountains are actually on all the planets. And that if we have dirt and soil and volcanic rock and stuff like that, then all planets have dirt and soil and volcanic rock. Like how Mars is often said to just be Earth. They're just taking photos of someplace on Earth and saying it's Mars. I wish I could trust them, but after Jesus Christ and circumcision, I'm just like, I can't trust them. Yeah, my distrust of science has nothing to do with science. It has everything to do with humans. That humans are unreliable. So. Oh yeah, Sherlock liked my post. I asked Sherlock if this ball was 400 pounds, and he actually liked it. Yeah, so we may see a video. He may be calculating it now. Let's figure out if the ball is 400 pounds or not. But yeah. Anyway, I did have good news. I was going to register my car in January, and now I can wait till March because my emissions is already expired. I thought my emissions was good. It's expired. And so I can register it later in the spring, and I probably won't have to get anything fixed. My error code was resolved by turning the error code off. Clear codes. That's a joke, right? It's like, I'm going to fix this error code, clear code. There, it's all better. That's actually a joke. That's a joke. You're not supposed to do it that way. But, like, if the error code was caused by, because it was, when I was having electrical issues before I discovered it was the ground, I ran the OBD2 scanner, and that was the error code that came up during that time. So, yeah, I just, like, never cleared it. The error code stuck around. Hope it fixes itself, but if it doesn't, let me tell you what, I'm going to drive right into the emissions testing parking lot and turn the fucking code off. Sorry. Especially if it could just be a faulty scanner. I don't care too much. But I think it's off for good. Yeah, it's like I ran it 3 or 4 times and it stayed off, so I'm like, it's all fixed. So yeah. But yeah, it's a beautiful view. I'm sad my drone is broken. I wish it worked. I still have many jars to get out. I've gotten out 3 jars. Gotten out many before my 7th sweep, but now I'm on like, I have 4 more to do. I've got to find good areas to do that. Dig big ass holes. Base of trees are really good for holes because they, the tree will constantly shed on top of it, so it'll actually make the dirt taller. Yeah, digging into the roots to hide something is a pretty good idea. It can disappear forever. Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to find it with a metal detector. Maybe if you have a different type of like seeing into the earth technology later you could, but who cares? As long as the jars are good when I die. See, if I can't get reincarnated, oh well. If I just die, I'm dead, oh well. But if I can get reincarnated, then I want those jars to be what the reincarnation goes with. Yeah. That's going to be a fun lifetime. So we'll see if I pull it off. It's pretty non-selfish. It's what I want, but it's like, you know, I don't really like take anything from others to have it. It's kind of that thing. It's like, what do you want? Well, you can give it to yourself. You don't need to change everyone else's destiny to have what you want. And I definitely use that idea, is that this is what I want. So, trying to bypass the government. No more hair or blood magic. I did the hair and blood magic for myself. Yeah, people doing blood magic over your life can ruin you, but you doing blood magic on yourself with your blood, that kind of supersedes the power of it. So, yeah, blood magic is crazy. It's crazy that works. Yeah, I thought blood magic was an insane experience. Absolutely crazy. So, definitely that's what the government's about. The blood magicians. So it's like, it's exactly kind of like that purpose of darkness, right? It's like the light side accepts life and death, and the light side dies honorably. And the darkness tries to stay immortal. The darkness tries to keep itself alive no matter what, because it's going to face its karma if it does die. So, whereas the light side's happy to die, and then they go to heaven. Their spirit goes to the eternal. That's a way of looking at it. My way of looking at it is that everybody dies, good or bad, and then if you want to make eternal life, it'll be the first time you've done that, and that will be worth something, good or bad. So, yeah, let's see, recent celebrity deaths. Man, I hope they go to a nicer place than this. You're so close with CRISPR and your energy explorations. You're so close to, like, what you want is you want easy energy, easy energy into objects. I hate it when people quote the laws of thermodynamics at me. I don't care. I know you think something you learn in high school science is going to impress me. Oh, the laws of what? I've never heard of the laws of thermodynamics. Of course I've heard of them. I just don't care because I've experienced life. Obviously the source is all powerful, and if you could create technology using the sorcery, then you would be able to create like things like objects from energy, right? So you want objects from energy and eternal life. That's the key. People who live forever for free. Way better than get a job and get old. Way better than get a job and get old. And I know there's people who would defend that, who'd go like, you don't want to live forever. You want to grow old, right? Because that's what they did, and they don't want to feel like losers, right? So, yeah, people's ego deciding the direction of things. It's pretty embarrassing. It is pretty embarrassing. Yeah, but whatever. What the fuck is that? What is this? Oh, yeah, that looks hella weird. I know what that is. But yeah, that's the story. I was super worried about my emissions test failing because my error code on my OBD2 scan, but I just deleted the code and then it was better. But it was, though, because it was caused by a ground issue. I fixed the ground and now the issue is gone and doesn't come back. So yeah, if I drive someplace, like if I get in the car and drive someplace and the issue is still gone, I made it out of that nonsense. Yeah, like this is perfect now. It rained all night, but this ground has just dried up enough. It's like just getting past noon that it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good fit, good nice and dry enough. So yeah, it'll rain a little tonight, and then we're gonna have 3 days of dryness. So after those 3 days, I can decide: am I gonna stay through the next 2 days of rain, or am I gonna leave? Yeah, this is a great area. I've never been here before, but it's tight. It's tight. It's quiet. It's not the most perfect when it comes to privacy. I kind of have to like walk a bit to get out of view so I can dig a hole, but it's pretty good, fairly up there. Quiet, clean. Yeah, driving on the muddy roads is dangerous though. You gotta have four-wheel drive off-road tires. Then you're good. Then you're pretty safe. Two-wheel drive street tires. Ooh, you better be praying. You better be hoping. Please, Lottie, don't let me get stuck. It's happened before. Yeah, I want to get my eyelets on the front of my car replaced so I can make my own winch. Obviously I'm still here. I've gotten out of every time I've gotten stuck. But it has happened before. It definitely made me a lot more cautious. Like I'm not taking any risky roads at any risky times. Nope. It's slightly slick. It's okay. I can wait it out. I can wait a few hours for that water to recede, but it does. Once the water recedes enough, it's like, yeah, after the last time it rains, go like 4 hours later. That's way better than right away. Yeah, while the ground is still wet is bad, but like 4 or 5 hours after that, it's pretty good. But yeah, anyway, I'm probably gonna take a nap, and it's just gonna be glorious. This is a great place to nap when it's like cloudy. Oh, so good. It's so weird how your head can like, because I'll be like snoring and I'll kind of hear it, but I can't hear it because my body's blocking that. Yeah, that's something that your brain and body's good at, is like blocking out things that you're not supposed to know or not supposed to hear. Yeah. Pretty scary. Anyway. Trying to make myself feel better about being circumcised. Yeah, the benefit of being circumcised, this is really the benefit of being circumcised, is you're not as lubricated and you don't glide as easy. So if you want that feeling of being huge, of being like too big, honestly, you could do it better with being circumcised because you're not going to be just like slick. You know what I mean? But I think it's definitely worse for like feeling. It's worse for urination. It's worse for all the times you're not having sex. But like, it is something you can kind of feel good about. Is it's like, it's gonna have that like gripping on the walls kind of feeling. So, if that's fun for you, if you like that, I'd rather just leave it alone. Like, don't do that to people. If you're that ugly without a surgery, maybe you shouldn't have kids. I feel that way about like face modification too. If you need a number of surgeries on like your breasts and your face to be hot, just don't have kids. You're fucking, who you fooling? You know you're doing it just for you and you're not lying to anybody. Okay, that's fine. But it's like, you don't want to fool a guy. He thinks he's getting like the pretty princess and he's really getting just like a fucking lie. You know, it's your kids won't look like that. That's a betrayal. That's a betrayal. That, you know, you marry a girl who looks different than you think she does. She was a man or whatever. It's awful. Awful stuff. Yeah. It's like the government's like no take only throw. They circumcised everyone. Having a kid is like at least $80,000, right? For just the hospital bill alone. And then the government's like, how about a $5,000 credit, right? They're like, I'll give you $5,000 once for having a kid. That's fair, right? You're like, no, kids are so expensive. $5,000 is nothing. You basically said, how about 1% off your first year? Is that a good deal? And it's like, you're ridiculous, bro. First lie of the government: money comes from taxes. Money doesn't come from taxes. They make the money. This idea that they pay for money with the taxes on you is ridiculous, because that's like, here, I'm going to give you $20. Now, to pay for that, I'm going to have to take $20. Yeah, no, that's fair. All right, well, I'll just take $5, then we'll call it a deficit, and you can pay that off later, right? It makes no sense. It's literally insane. It's literally like, these people celebrate Christmas when the fat man comes down the chimney, and they celebrate, it's obviously another sex metaphor, just well hidden. And they celebrate Easter, the bunny that lays eggs. They get a day off for the bunny that lays eggs. And then they're like, yeah, of course their fucking economy is broken on purpose to be fucking mean. It's just crazy. It is. It's like, I didn't want to be a hermit. I wanted to have a lot of friends. I wanted to have, like, I would rather be an artist working with all the big creators to make the coolest stuff that's ever been made. That's what I prefer, right? But instead, I'm like, just living the hermit life because I can't stand them. It's just like fucking weird. Weird. It's like they front lies as the primary element of their discourse, and then it just sucks. It just sucks, you know. So I hope I can be reborn. I would definitely take an Eternal Pleasure Body AI spaceship core. That just sounds like a nice upgrade to hear. But yeah, I'm not very happy with like the toil and the aging and the dying. I get it. You don't have a choice either. You didn't choose that. That's just what we have. But we definitely should fix it. You know, CRISPR is a good good option for that. Make people who live forever for free. Figure out the secrets of energy, secrets of source. Yeah, you can try to discover ultimate techniques using the process of elimination and thought, or you can use the transcendental source to give it to you. You can use the transcendental source to just help you out by, well, here it is, I'll just tell you how it works, and now you have it for free, that sort of thing. So that's really what I'm hoping happens, is I'm hoping that instead of taking the long route with technology and doing it difficultly, is that you have people who are willing to ask for help and receive it, and that together is going to make it work. Yeah, I'm glad I could just clear my code and fix it. But anyway, I gotta go. It was nice talking.